Hello everyone. Slowly but surely we started to move here into winter. So basically summer is a summer in west coast of Canada, but after that we're just getting our winter. And our winter is basically rains, lots of rains, lots of water, and we just facing the first week of rains here, so no flying, low ceiling. I was able to complete a few flights recently, and looks like I'm gonna be grounded for some time because I still don't have my IFR done. Anyway, aside of that, I'm continuing to work on my build of my wings of my RV-10 airplane. I recently ordered my fuselage kit, so I'm happy about that, and I expect it to be here sometime in the January 2021. So let's cross fingers that everything gonna go better with COVID and there won't be any additional delays, because I really want to start to work on my fuselage. But before that, I still have to do lots of things on my wings build. So let's watch. So likely you have a reasonable question, why so many cuts? I'll explain. I moved slowly to the fuel tanks. So finally, I was able to finish my leading edges, except I still have to, I ordered some primer, I still have to add some primer because I decided to add more primer inside of the leading edges. I have a couple of scratches there, some primer is not on all parts, so I decided to add that. And well, basically at that point I will install my stall horn sensor, and I'll be waiting for my landing lights to arrive. Now, in the meantime, I will not be able to rivet my leading edges to my wing spar because of the Canadian inspection. So I decided to move on and start with fuel tanks. And well, basically all those cuts were for fuel tanks, lots of metal here, lots of things to do, which I'm starting as of today, and we will see how long will it take me. I guess it's a big job, like it looks as a big job, and I'm expecting today or tomorrow shipment from Vans with my tank sealant. I ordered directly from Vans. I must say that the shipping costs killing. Cost a lot for Canadians. I mean, I don't know what's happening in this world, why it's so expensive for Canadians to get a shipment from US. Either super long, if it's not expensive by USPS, or it's just super freaking expensive, plus all those border fees, all that stuff. It's unfair. Anyway, let's move on the next thing. And before that, I want to clarify something. I got a question from someone, not from someone, from a couple of people. That's why are you treating your aluminum using your I'm talking about this guy. So guys, this guy, this one is a Scotch-Brite. It's the same Scotch-Brite, because I got a question like why I'm cutting aluminum, why I'm treating aluminum, working on aluminum with this one. Well, it's not basically a convenient disc for like work with the metal, but it's a Scotch-Brite. I just bought the large Scotch-Brite disc, and I'm working with aluminum with this disc. This disc is designed to work as well with aluminum, so I should be fine here. There was another question from someone that I'm not sometimes following the Van's instructions, and I probably need to do that because my videos are taken as a reference. I really want to explain something. I'm doing my videos, first of all, for my good memory. That's in the first place, like for my memory, for my family memory. Of course, I'm doing that for you. I want you to watch if you're interested in that. To take my videos as the instruction or something, I don't recommend so, because you have your own vision of your own build. It's an experimental airplane, which means you're the builder. So you have a last word how your airplane will be built, right? In my case, sometimes I may miss some steps intentionally, move on to the next step before proceed with something, or change some part of the step, let's say in a minor way. I don't do that just out of my head. I'm always trying to get some information from different sources, from local builders here in my airfield, from people I'm chatting with on Van's Air Force forums, from different sources. And of course, I may do something incorrectly. Most likely. I'm not a specialist. That's my first airplane. I'm building it the first time. So please forgive me if I'm doing something wrong, but don't take what I do, my videos, as a reference, as the instruction. It's only as a reference. I'm trying just to show it how I'm doing that. Hopefully it will help you with your build. Hopefully it will remove your relief that it's very hard to build airplane, because in fact it's not that hard. You just have to do that and you will succeed. Anyway, let's move on to fuel tanks. Less words, more work. So today I attached my leading edges to my wings. Now, as you can see, I have those attached, and yeah, I bought that carpet. I was able to get it easily at Home Depot. And now I'm all working on fuel tanks. So basically for fuel tanks, I'm getting all parts prepared, slowly but surely. I'm also getting ready for the skins, for the dimpling, and finally I'm getting ready for... No, not the party. That's I'm gonna be using for my, actually, the tank sealant. So I just got those small shot cups from the local store, and I'm basically gonna be using one for 10 grams. I hope 10 grams will fit here. I have no idea actually how large 10 grams of the tank sealant is, and that's what I'm going to be using to like basically mix them. I didn't decide yet if I'm going to go with the yeah, I don't know how I'm going to apply. I'm still debating how to apply that, but probably I'm going to use those little sticks to apply. So yeah, that's how it is for now. I'm getting ready. I started to work on fuel tanks. It goes slowly but surely, and lots of work here. the stage when everything is ready for Pro-Seal. So what has been done? So first of all, the skins were prepared. The bird, all holes, dimpled, with help of my kids, of course. And I used regular painter tape. And what I did, I covered everything except those lines where the ribs will be installed. So now, after that, I sanded all those. So now I can be sure that I will be able to apply the Pro-Seal, and hopefully it will not mess with everything else. Of course, all parts here were prepared, deburred, dimpled, so everything is ready as well here. And some parts previously were, that's actually the mounts for the fuel tank, they also were primed. Despite Van's manual calls for the priming of all parts, which I want to prime prior starting the Pro-Sealing, and we must understand that no parts should be primed inside, which will be touching the fuel, right? So I decided only for now to prime those mounts for the fuel tank, while the rest, outer part of the fuel tank, I will prime later. So when my tank is fully sealed, and actually it's going to happen only after inspection, right? So first I will assemble the fuel tank, I'll seal it, except the top cover. So inspector for Canadian inspection can take a look inside, ensure that everything is fine there. And after that, I will install the top cover, also seal it. And at that point, when everything is glued, the Pro-Seal set, so I can test the pressure. After that, I can sand it and put a primer on top. That's how I decided to do that. So basically that's it. My only concern for now is a return line for the fuel. I realized that I will likely use the engine with the electrical fuel pumps and with the injectors. So I likely will need the return line. Return line most likely will be needed. I will do some research, but from my understanding I can technically use any sort of port like that, or I can just use some insert, like some hose insert. I mean something what's used currently for the spilling of the exceeding fuel, and I can probably just install it inside, but I can do that at later time for sure. Until my top cover is closed, I can do it at any time, so it's not a big deal. Anyway, return line is not a big deal, and well, that's our big deal, right? That's a Pro-Seal. I have two of those, and as Vance recommends, you better have 2 quarts. Despite they call for 1 quart to be enough for fuel tank, they say that it's rarely enough. So usually it's more than 1 quart, so buy 2 quarts. So I bought 2 sets of Pro-Seal. It's not that expensive, it's good. And one I put in the freezer already, another is here, so I will start to use it, I will start to work on it. I technically ready for that. So yeah, next step will be starting adding a Pro-Seal. There is some step in between to rivet some mounts here on this part, but it's fine, I will do that. So let's move to the next step. slowly coming to the fuel tank caps. Well, according to manual and according to what I see, well, first of all, those caps which Vance supplies, they kind of cheap. Like, that's what I can say. It's a plastic part. Well, that's a kind of aluminum part, but this part is plastic and cheap. What I read, what I heard is that there is some manufacturer who sells those cups made out of aluminum, so like good quality cups for the same for like which matches with this part, or you can just purchase completely new assembly which will be like with a lock, with a key, and it's going to be made out of aluminum. But aside of that, there is some curvature here. Like, that's what I found. There is some curvature here. It's not flat surface like here. And if you attach it to your skin, there will be some gaps. So you have to actually work those gaps out. So I'm going to be using the belt sander. So basically just to belt disc sander, just to basically go through it and to sand it off to make it flat, more or less the curvature of my skins. But again, I must say that I just realized that, well, that's a kind of cheap quality. This plastic thing, I don't know how reliable that will be. So yeah, I'll probably just purchase the aluminum ones, because I don't really trust just like this plastic for a fuel. Oh, anyway, so yeah, belt sander and just make it flat. After a couple of days, I would say even more than a week, fuel tanks finally near to be ready. Why I'm saying near? Because the top cover is still not closed. I'll show everything now and is awaiting for the inspection. Also, there are some places which I still have to add more of the tank sealant. Plus, I have to do, of course, the test. For now, without the pressure. For now, it's just going to be the leak test, simple leak test, but later on it's going to be the test under the pressure. So, first of all, what has been done? Let's take a look. So those are my two fuel tanks. They're at most sealed, assembled, first of all, right, riveted and sealed. How I was doing it, you know, I didn't really make a lot of video about the process, just because it was too messy. There was lots of mess, lots of tank sealant everywhere, and I was just scared about my camera, and I simply couldn't do that. I also had like limited time frame between the once I started to work with the sealant and until sealant is no longer good for the for the manipulation, right? So it was only about 40 minutes. So everything is riveted. So basically what I was doing, I was taking a rib, for example, right? I was taking 30 grams of tank sealant. I was measuring exactly 30 grams of tank sealant. I was adding 3 grams of the whatever that component which like the starting the process, like the hardener or whatever, and 33 grams in total was absolutely enough to install one full rib, either the front rib or middle rib or whatever, any rib, like 33 grams. Probably I could do it with 25 grams, but because my weight is by 1 gram, like I was able to measure it only by 1 gram, my electronic weight is simply measures only 1 gram minimum, so I was using that amount. Now, well, inside it's kind of messy. If you take a look, it's kind of messy inside, and it's not super clean as I wish it could be. Well, that's how it looks on this side. So again, everything is glued everywhere, but still there are some places which I still have to add more tank sealant. And again, this one, so here we have this, by the way, that the hose, the pipe for the extra pressure, I guess, to let like vapors come out of the tank. That's installed. I still have to install on both tanks the fuel level meter. Plus I have to install something here, and maybe I will be also doing and adding here somewhere return hose. And this tank, I still have to seal it from inside and outside the front cover. It's just a little bit sealed, but it has to be something like that. So for now, that's how it looks like. And well, I must say it's kind of messy job. Like, it's not that bad, to be honest. It's not super bad like I was thinking, I was expecting. And yeah, I know someone recommends to use those syringes like with the tank sealant, which you can buy like 30 O's or 60 O's, whatever size, like already prepared ones, where you just mix it and use. No, in my case I was just using the cans of the tank sealant. So how much sealant it took me to come to this condition for now? Exactly one full can. So wherever Vans sells us in cans, I guess I bought two, but I still have one full, and it took me one full can. Like full means completely, so I scratched out everything from inside. And yeah, that's how it is now. And the next step, as I said, is gonna be to add more sealant, probably next days. Let it dry, fully set, before I may start my like water leakage tests. I will probably add the fuel meter just to ensure I can put more level of water.